The ocean. Planet Earth's last greatest frontier. In its vastness, the ocean is host to all kinds of secrets and mysteries, from brilliant ecosystems teeming with life to deep chasms that reach into the core of the earth. From ancient civilizations lost to the ocean to shipwrecks completely lost to time. The ocean is a beast that is yet to be tamed by humanity, and I guess that's what makes it so utterly terrifying to me. Ever since I was young, I've always had this inexplainable fear of the ocean. The fear of getting lost at sea, the fear of what's beneath you, the fear of what lurks in the depths. There's no way of knowing what happens beneath the waves of the ocean. Humans aren't made for water, and therefore when confronted with vast bodies of water, I feel dangerously out of my depth. And this fear is what initially led me to be interested in the game Subnautica. This game has it all. Underwater depths, cave systems, leviathans, sea monsters, you name it. Everything that I'm afraid of about the ocean takes place within this game. And so to desensitize myself to my thalassophobia and fear of the ocean, I thought it was a good idea to stream Subnautica over the last couple of months, and I've got to say, I had a brilliant time with this game exploring the planet of 4546b, and uncovering the mysteries that await me in the depths. And so today I'm going to recount my experiences of Subnautica through a review type video and also many of my favourite moments from my original playthrough during the stream. So today we're going to be jumping into the world of 4546b and exploring the world of Subnautica. Nice first stream. It is my first stream on Twitch. It is indeed. Whoa, 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 why is jump... Okay, I won't change the controls. Alright, let's get into it, boys. New game. I guess we're going survival. Crash on a dangerous alien planet. Scavenge resources and manage hunger/thirst to survive. Like survival without hunger or thirst. I imagine it's not that hard to get food. Like, I've played Minecraft, alright, boys? Alright, survival, yeah, let's go. I'm so excited. Look at that. That shit's scaring me already. And it's just a big ship. George, you're gonna get so scared. I know, man. Dude, I'm gonna get scared. I'm gonna get scared, bro. Press any button to continue. Right, here we go, boys. Oh. I'm scared already. I'm scared. Pop beans. Potent beans. Thanks. Oh my god. Another follower. Thank you. This shit's scary already, man. Whoa, what's going on? I recognize this room because I've seen little bits of gameplay here and there. Get me out of this fucking seat. We're a long way from Red Dead Redemption 2, boys. Oh, it's inverted! Whoa! No! What are you doing? What are you doing inverting the look, bro? What's happened here? I guess we just gotta get out. Ah! Pick up the fire extinguisher. Oh, it's there. God, playing a first-person game on controller, guys, honestly, it's fucking painful. Okay, we did it. Just walks into the fire. What's this? Altera.
You have suffered minor head trauma. This is considered an optimal outcome.
Look, we already knew that.
This PDA has now rebooted in emergency mode with one directive.
Random wavelength, thank you.
Alive on an alien world. Please refer to the data bank for detailed survival advice.
Okay.
Good luck.
Good luck, thank you. So you press the middle button to open or close the PDA. You can have a look in there. You've suffered minor head trauma. Okay, so now you get all the logs there. That's pretty cool. So you get blueprints here. Air pumps, handheld scanner. So it gives you all of the blueprints. First clip. Oh, it's inverted. Yo, legend. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, what the fuck was that? Oh. Look at the scale of this shit. Oh my fucking god, boys. Do I just jump straight in? Oh, it's scary already. Holy shit. What the fuck? I guess we jump in. I guess I'm just gonna guess we just go for it. The introduction to Subnautica, I'd say, is actually perfect. You are an employee working for a galactic space power called Altera. The ship that you're working on in particular is called the Aurora, and it's one of Altera's prized ships. The mission of the Aurora is to scout out unexplored space and to find planets that could be used to further Altera's financial gain. Altera intended to build a phase gate within this system so that people could get easily to and from this star system and back home again. And it all seemed to be going well until the ship drifted too close to the uninhabited planet 4546b. While entering the planet's atmosphere, the ship seems to combust unexpectedly, falling down to the surface below, and resting itself on a small mound of land below the ocean's surface. Many life pods were successfully ejected from the Aurora, but there is only one known survivor: you. You wake up with your life pod having successfully landed on the surface of the planet, and that's where the game begins. Before we start getting into more spoiler territory, I just want to ask you this question. Does this game sound interesting to you? Landing on the surface of an alien planet, having no idea what the hell is going on, and having to climb your way up the tech tree to eventually find out what happened to the Aurora, and uncover the secrets of 4546b. If this does sound interesting to you, stop watching the video now and go and play this game, because it is absolutely fantastic, and I can't recommend playing it blind enough. And this is where the journey begins. Upon climbing out of the life pod and jumping into the water, you've now become a part of the ecosystems of 4546b. First trophy, getting your feet wet. Okay, so we gotta remember where that is. Wow, this is fucking beautiful. How do I rise myself in the water? Oh, fucking hell. Fucking hell. I can see this game absolutely terrifying me already, bro. Like, oh my god. Oh, Jesus. Can you see the shipwreck, like, under... No, you can't see it just yet. Oh. Oh, my god. Let's get our bearings real quick, alright? Because I know nothing. I know nothing about this game. It's quite good that you can use the wreckage of the Aurora to sort of, like, see what you're doing. Right, let's open the PDA. I really want to know how to make like a knife. Equipment. Repair tool. Would that be useful? Handheld scanner. The essential science and survival tool. The scanner can be used to add new blueprints to memory and analyze unknown entities. Go to the crafting menu. Ah! So it shows you what you need. So I want the knife. I need silicone, rubber, and titanium. Surely I want the scanner first, to like battery, titanium. I reckon. I mean, we're gonna have to swim close to the wreckage. Like, I feel like that's the only thing that we're really gonna be able to do at this point. Let's be honest. I know you can grab fish. How do I swim faster? Is this how fast I can swim? Hey man. Oh. Hey man.
New creature discovered.
Cute little fish. Oh, you can let it go. Okay, break limestone outcrop. Ah, titanium! We got titanium! So let's just see if we can... Oh, who are you? Do these things try and hurt me? Hey, man. Oh, he's shitting. Alright. Oh, acid mushroom. That sounds sick. Give me all of these. I reckon I could probably eat those and do drugs with them. Ah, this will be another little limestone outcrop. Copper.
Is an essential component
cool.
Of all powered equipment. Your probability of survival has just increased to unlikely, but plausible.
Plausible, yeah. Oh, what's this? Quartz. I don't know what this does, but quartz is pretty cool in most things that you play, so... I really don't like it in here. Like... Oh, I really don't like it in that bit there. If I'm getting scared of that, what's it gonna be like when I'm in the fucking depths? I'm such a pussy. Oh, what the fuck are you, bro? Okay, that's a predator. Okay, maybe let's not go near that guy. Oh. Eat something. That's true, I do have to eat something. I need one of these little boys. Come here. Come here!
New creature discovered.
Alright, and now I've got to cook this boy. You're coming with me, kid. You're fucking coming with me, lad. Damaged radio. Okay, so you can use the repair tool on that. Fabricator. Sustenance. Cooked food. Yeah! And now we're gonna eat some food! Oh my god, okay. Right. There you go. Munch. Alright. Basic materials. Silicon rubber I get from Cripevine seed cluster. You can make titanium out of that as well. Battery. Acidic mushrooms used for battery. I see where you're coming from. Right, so I need that silicon rubber. So I need a Cripevine seed cluster, okay? That's what I need. We need to get that radio. I feel like once we get the radio working, I'll feel a little bit better about everything that's going on right now. I'm scared, bro. I'm fucking scared. When can you... Wait, you can sleep? No sleep. Oh my fucking god, man. Dude, what? You can't expect me to want to jump in the fucking water when it looks like this, bro. What do you mean? Look at that. What's going on there? Oh my god. Do you really want me to get in the water? Oh, I don't fucking like it. I do not fucking like that. Do I not even have a flashlight? Oh, screenshot. Okay, that's how you screenshot. Can I not make like a flashlight? This is so scary. Can I not? Okay, flashlight. I need battery and glass. I can make batteries. Glass. I can make glass as well. So I can make a flashlight. Battery. And then I'll be able to make a... Yes! So a scanner or flashlight. Well, I want a flashlight if I'm going out in the darkness. What's that thing? Oh my god. Okay, how do I activate my flashlight? Okay, you just... Oh, he's taking the thing! He's taking the scrap metal, you bastard! This shit is terrifying, though. I ain't even gonna lie, man. Like, this shit is scary. It's a very different type of fear, isn't it? It's a very different type of fear. I mean, I've always been scared of the open ocean, but this is like... Beacon fragment. You can use the scanner on fragments. Oh, okay, so... If I wanna make the scanner, it requires batteries. So I need more copper, and I need more mushroom. Yeah, I got plenty of mushroom. I don't need more mushroom. I just need more copper. More quartz. Whoa, what are you, bro? The fuck is that thing? And did it just blow up behind me? I don't know what that was just then. What was that thing? What the fuck was that? Everything wants to kill me. Look, I need copper, okay? If I want to make this scanner, I want copper. What is that? Oh, so they blow up. They do blow up. Okay, they're like creepers. I'm gonna go back in here where that boy was. Cave sulfur. Okay. Ah, copper! Yeah, boy! We got some copper. Small things like started, necessary tools, I think are fine. Yeah, I just want some tools, bro. So, basic materials. Yeah, we need battery to make a scanner. Alright, let's make the scanner. Oh, that knife will be nice when I can make that. Okay, scanner time, boys. Thanks for the follows, lads. I really appreciate it. Now, I know that was a long cutaway to just have stream clips, but the reason why I showed you all that footage is because it was basically my first night in Subnautica. In that clip, I learned a lot about the exploration fundamentals in this game and basically how the world of 4546B works. I learned how to get titanium, copper, quartz, gold, and learned a little bit about what they do and how they serve me in terms of crafting recipes. I also learned about the gameplay loop of going up for air every now and then to survey your surroundings and then going back down to collect more loot and go into more small caves. Honestly, the gameplay loop is really interesting when you first get in. It's all organic exploration. As you saw, I learned how all the different factors of my environment worked. Acid mushrooms could create batteries, the aurora could be used to triangulate where you are, You can use metal salvage to create titanium. You can use quartz to make glass. There's all sorts of things to learn in the very beginning of the game, and it's really interesting to watch myself actually learn how these things work, because I've recently played through the game again, so I know the mechanics very well by now. It was especially funny seeing myself make the same mistake that I'm pretty sure everyone does, of just straight up filling your inventory with acid mushrooms as soon as you get into the water. I don't know why that's a thing that everyone does, but it was just funny to come back and watch. I think that the very early game of Subnautica is one of the most fun experiences I've had in a survival game in recent years. Just that feeling of pure unadulterated exploration as you're scanning things and trying to figure out how everything around you works and how you can use it to your advantage. Of course, it isn't all just mindless swimming around collecting materials. There are many tools that you will need to make that are paramount to your experience in the game. The first one being the scanner. That's a pretty big one. Obviously, in my original playthrough, the first one that I made was the flashlight for some reason, even though the scanner would have been way more valuable. But each tool has its own individual use and situations in which they're applicable. Some are just way more broadly usable than others. Like the sea glide here, it's very useful. I couldn't play without it. It's just a way to give yourself a flat speed boost when you're outside of vehicles, and you can make it get really fast if you pair it with some of the fin upgrades. In my stream series, I was also pretty obsessed with getting a survival knife, although to be honest, it's not necessarily usable as a weapon per se. It's more a survival tool to take samples from plants and to kill fish with. You can kill bigger sea creatures with the knife, but I don't really think you are meant to kill the bigger sea monsters in this game, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Another important tool to get early on is the repair tool, so you can repair all of the things that are inside of the life pod that got damaged in the initial crash. This means you can then access the radio, and you can also bring the power back online inside of the life pod, which is very useful. Obviously, the repair tool can also be used to repair vehicles later down the line, and it has quite a significant use when you get to the crash site of the Aurora, which is something we will be talking about very soon. But until then, the gameplay loop remains sort of the same until you get the scanner, and then it becomes a little bit more interesting because you're able to scan blueprints, which means you can start expanding the arsenal of equipment that you have in your tech tree. And then the gameplay loop turns from swimming around aimlessly trying to find minerals to actually purposefully going into wrecks from the Aurora to find blueprints to scan. There are many different types of blueprints in the safe shallows and grassy plateaus area, which is where you're going to want to be looking for some of the early game blueprints like the laser cutter, the beacon, the sea glide, and the first vehicle that you can make in the game, the sea moth. Beacons can be placed anywhere around the map, which means you have a waypoint wherever you place it. It's really useful for navigation and for remembering where places are on the map, such as entrances to endgame areas or places with valuable resource deposits. The laser cutter allows you to cut through destroyed doors in shipwrecks, which is very useful because it means you can find more valuable blueprints. There's also many doors in the Aurora that require the laser cutter to get past, so the laser cutter is paramount to your progress in the game. After a few hours of doing the same gameplay loop and swimming around collecting resources, fabricating tools and collecting food, you've basically got the hang of the early game portion of Subnautica. I believe this game is split up into 3 sections, and for simplicity's sake we'll call it early game, mid game and end game. The early game is what we've just talked about. The mid game is the longest section of the game as it requires the most resource managing, base building and just simply learning about the game in general. And then the end game is obviously where the story comes to a close and you find out a lot more about the overarching narrative of this game, because yes, this game does have a story. And I'll talk about more about what I like and dislike about Subnautica's story a little bit later on, but for now the early game section is nearly over. Usually what signifies the ending of the early game to me is getting a sea moth, going to the Aurora and repairing the drive core room. Because of the reactors inside of the engine room of the Aurora, and the fact that the Aurora will explode at some point during the early game of Subnautica as it's scripted to happen, there's radiation leaking out into the world of 4546b, and by going into the Aurora and repairing the drive core, this radiation is stopped, which is very useful if you want to explore other parts of the map without having to use the full radiation gear. It means you can swap out your radiation mask for a rebreather, which means that your oxygen efficiency is much higher. And so, armed with the tools that you've gotten during the early game section of the game, and this very base level knowledge of 4546B, it's time to get into the Seamoth and head towards the wreckage of the Aurora to find out more about this colossal ship, and those that lost their lives on board. Oh, it's scary out here at night, man. Like, I almost prefer it under... What the fuck are you doing? Stop that, alright, Mr... Oh. Oh my god, okay, so I've completely forgot. You need battery for this stuff. I think I might go back to the life pod. Oh.
Emergency. A quantum detonation has occurred in the Aurora's drive core.
Okay.
The reactor will reach a supercritical state in T-minus.
It's about to blow up, boys.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Oh, what's gonna happen?
3, 2.
Oh my fucking god. Holy shit. At night time as well. That looked sick. Jesus. Ah, radiation suit. Okay. I imagine we need one of those pretty badly. Damn, that was cool. Wasn't that sick? That was fucking sick. Guys, I'm loving this game. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm loving this game. It's just such an amazing concept. So I guess as soon as possible, we want to go to the Aurora. We'll make a radiation suit. Once we can, we should go straight to the Aurora, because I reckon we can get a sea glide there. We can do it. I would like a rebreather, but, you know, is what it is. We'll get that eventually, I'm sure. Okay, so now we have the radiation suit. Radiation helmet. Cool. Radiation gloves. Yay! We're all decked out in cool shit now. Look at that. Look, we can see ourselves wearing it as well. Okay, do you want to go to the Aurora, boys? It's time. I think it's time. I think it's time to go to the Aurora. Let's see what we can put down here. Let's go to the Aurora. This is going to be scary because I have a fear of big mechanical things in water. But I think this is a very cool... I don't know, it's pretty cool to me. The Aura's sick. It is very cool because it's such a huge thing, isn't it? Like, it's massive. It's fucking massive. And it's just like, we can just go up to it. Look at it. Like, what's this? Battery. Oh, it's fucking scary, boy. I got a bad feeling about this. Alright, well, this is just... It's scary. Look how big this thing is. Has the Aurora's wreckage triggered? Has the Aurora's wreckage triggered your fear of man-made submerged objects? Oh, yeah, it has. It's fucking scary. So you said go to the front of it to get inside. So... Just do it. I'll keep going around it. Yeah, this is fucking scary. Just gotta take a moment. Jesus. Like, I'm glad you can't see more of it underneath. Because I feel like it'd be scary if you could see more of it from underneath. Like, I'm glad it's, like, in the sand. Like, yeah, like, just this big ship underwater. Like, fuck, man. It's some scary shit. Like, I don't think you get the sea glide near the Aurora. What? But I would have assumed that you would be able to get parts of the sea glide, or at least find one around here, surely. Because this is, like, the home base. Where everyone... There's a lot of metal salvage around here, so there won't be any shortage of titanium anytime soon. How fucking long is this thing, man? It's so big. Oh. Okay, I kind of don't like those noises. Okay. So this is how you get in? I really don't like how...
Life form readings in this region are spot.
What the fuck is that?
Radioactive fallout will will have devastating effects on the alien ecosystem if not contained within the next 24 hours.
Oh! I really don't like it in here. I'm leaving. I'm fucking leaving. I don't like it. I'm stuck. I'm fucking stuck. I'm leaving. I'm not gonna go in there. Entrance is near the surface. I really don't like this. Why is it fucking shaking? That means something bad is happening. No, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm fucking scared. Oh, the life pod's really far away and it's turning to nighttime. Oh, Jesus Christ. No. Okay, let's try this again, alright? No fucking bitch procedures, okay? No being a bitch. Oh, what, like here? Okay, we went really low down. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, here we are. Here we are, boys. We're here. Let's fucking do this shit. Okay, here we are. What the fuck are you? Trying to kill me? You trying to kill me, motherfucker? You fucking dickhead? I'm guessing we have to just sort of ignore them. Oh, so this is it. Okay. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I'm guessing I'll put the fires out and I'll just loot some shit. There's a box up here. Water, sweet.
Scans show the digestive tracts of nearby life forms contain human tissues.
Okay, that doesn't sound too good. The digestive tracts of nearby life forms contain human tissue. That's not good. Here, this must be it. This must be it. Is this it? So I imagine yes, there's a doorway that way. Okay. Just put this out. Hey, we've made it inside. Whoa, that's a bit of a weird texture there. We made it inside, boys. So administration or cargo bay 3.
Aurora systems are running on local reserve power, unable to remotely download black box data.
So we have abandoned PDA there.
Integrating new PDA data.
Got to keep an eye out for things that I can scan as well. Okay, what was that? Administration. Do you want to go to cargo bay 3? Oh no, we can't. Oh no. Maybe we go down this way. Okay, actually, it looks like there's no way to go that way. Okay, let's go to administration. We don't need that on. What's that? Battery thing. Let's fire out. Oh Jesus Christ. Okay, the fire is a little bit weird. I don't quite know how it works, but that's okay. Prawn suit Mark 3. Ah, the prawn suit. You need the propulsion cannon for the cargo bay. Okay. Cool. Data terminal. Yeah.
Integrating new PDA data.
Let's see if we can get that propulsion cannon, because we need that, don't we, to get into the other area. So maybe we can find it somewhere. No, it doesn't look like I'm gonna be able to find it. I reckon I'll have to swim around to find it. Ugh. Okay, so I know I didn't have a Seamoth in my original playthrough of Subnautica, but to be honest, I went to the Aurora a little bit early before I actually explored any of the areas around me. I don't really know why, but I just felt the Aurora calling to me. I felt like it was important, and after it had blown up, I was like, well, we kind of have to go and explore it now, so I just went for it. But it's certainly much nicer going to the Aurora if you have a Seamoth, because there is a Reaper Leviathan at the front of the ship, and a Reaper Leviathan at the back of the ship as well. So if you do happen to get caught by one of them, it's nicer if you have a Seamoth, because it means you will be able to get away afterwards. Watching the gameplay back, I was blissfully unaware of this fact, and I'm still so surprised that I didn't get caught by either of them, because I was very close to the back of the ship, and I also got very close to the front of the ship as well. It was probably for the best, to be honest, because going to the Aurora was absolutely terrifying to me for some reason, because, well, I suffer from not only Thalassophobia, but I also suffer from Submechanophobia to an extent, which is a fear of man-made submerged objects, which is very, very strange. I don't really know where it stems from, but I have it nonetheless, so the Aurora definitely triggered this fear. Anyway, we'll talk more about Reaper Leviathans later, because it's not like I'm not going to have a run-in with them at some point in my playthrough. The actual wreckage of the Aurora itself is really impressive to me, especially on a first time playthrough. Trying to find your entrance in, parking your Seamoth up, or just climbing onto the metal that's jutting out from the wreckage, and then walking around trying to find an entrance. It's really fun, and it's complete organic exploration, as I said. None of it felt like the game was holding my hand or telling me where to go. In fact, I almost wish there was more guidance, because it took me ages to figure out how to get into the Aurora and where to actually go. Upon finding a way inside, in my original playthrough I thought you had to use a propulsion cannon to actually get into the belly of the Aurora, but you actually don't. You can just jump on this box here and then jump over these boxes. There's no need for the propulsion cannon. In fact, in my recent playthrough of the game, in which I got the platinum trophy and made a sick base and basically experienced everything the game had to offer, I didn't make a propulsion cannon once. It's just not needed. It's a pointless tool, and I don't know really why it's in the game. Upon getting inside the Aurora, there's this really disturbing, creepy atmosphere. Now, I don't know if this was intentional by the developers, but it certainly is quite eerie wandering through the destroyed corridors of this once great spaceship. It's even more terrifying when you realise that some parts of the ship are entirely submerged in water, which means you'll have to swim through these cramped, dimly lit, flooded corridors, which adds to the horror of being stuck in this crazy ship. This is also where your tools are going to come in handy very much, mainly the repair tool, flashlight, scanner and laser cutter. The repair tool can be used to repair wall modules that can be used to open new doors, opening up new parts of the ship. Similarly, the laser cutter can be used to cut through doors that can't be accessed otherwise. With the dimly lit conditions, you're going to need to have the flashlight handy to be able to see what you're looking at, and you're also going to have the scanner ready in case there's any valuable items or blueprints that need to be scanned, and trust me, the Aurora does have many valuable things on it. There's also lots of data logs and additional pieces of lore on the Aurora, which you're going to have to keep your eye on, because some of these notes are very valuable for opening doors that have keypads on in the Aurora, so definitely don't completely disregard the data banks that you find around the Aurora and around the game's world. Regardless though, I actually recommend listening and reading these datapads anyway, because they add a lot of interesting exposition and context to the game's world, such as what these galactic superpowers are doing and how they govern over humanity, as well as the survivors of the Aurora and people that worked on board. It's very cool, and it's a very good way of telling a story when you don't have that high of a budget. So why is going to the Aurora so important? Well, there's 3 rooms in the Aurora that are very important to your progression in the game. These being the prawn suit bay, the crew cabins, and the drive core room. The prawn suit bay is pretty self-explanatory. It's a room that's filled with blueprints of prawn suits. This is the only way to get a prawn suit blueprint in the game, because they're all there for you, just hanging in the prawn suit bay. All you have to do is go up to them, scan them with a scanner, and then you have the blueprint completed almost instantly. It's great. Very useful to get the prawn suit. You have to go to the Aurora to get it. The next important area of the Aurora is the crew cabins, which has a lot of data pads that you can go into and read about, which is quite interesting. It's a nice bit of character exposition and world exposition. But the main important thing in the crew cabins is the captain's quarters. Now, I'm not going to talk about exactly what's in there right now, but I just want you guys to know at this point that it's very important to keep in mind that the captain's quarters is a place that you can go to. To activate the captain's quarters, you need to have a key code, and you don't get that key code until much later in the game, so let's talk about that later. And lastly, we have the drive core room. Now, this is probably one of the most important early game areas in the Aurora, because upon repairing each of the breaches in the drive core room, you then remove the radiation from certain parts of the map, which means you now no longer have to use the radiation suit to protect yourself from the radiation. There's also a free engine efficiency module for the Cyclops, which, yeah, you might as well grab that. It's going to be useful later down the line. And there you go, that's pretty much everything worth exploring in the Aurora. Now, obviously, it's not the last time we're going to come to the Aurora, but there's not much need going inside the Aurora once you've explored all these areas. Obviously, we will have to come back later to access the captain's quarters, but apart from that, most of it is going to be scavenging metal salvage from the outside of the Aurora, and also avoiding the Reapers that are around the Aurora too. And there you have it. We've successfully finished the early game of Subnautica, and there's so much left to this game, so let's get into it. To me, the mid-game of Subnautica starts when you get back from the Aurora and start finding a place to build your base. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about base building throughout this, but there are a few issues with the base building in Subnautica that do come to mind. But to be honest, for the most part, Subnautica's base building is what you'd expect from base building in most survival games. You can create rooms, you can create corridors to other rooms, and you can furnish these rooms with a variety of merely aesthetic items and then some actual practical things as well. And to be honest, it's just nice to have your own space to walk around in and store your items. Instead of being in the cramped life pod all the time, it's just nice, and it's paramount to your experience during the game to create a good base. The first very useful utility of a base is the scanner room. Now, this room basically allows you to scan the nearby area for various resources. This is incredibly useful, especially as you get into the later game when you need a lot more resources. And if you create scanner rooms in biomes that have a lot more resources, then you're going to find a lot more resources. You can basically use the scanner room to scan for any specific resource you want, so long as it's in the pool of resources for that day. So if the resource that you want isn't in the pool, then you're going to have to wait another day, which is sort of annoying, and I really wish we could have bypassed this just through upgrading it, but, you know, I guess it's in the game and you kind of have to deal with it. You can actually upgrade the speed and range of the scanner room, so there's a nice little bit of progression there, but basically the scanner room is what it says on the tin. It just scans for items, and it makes scavenging so much more easy. The next essential room I'd say is a moon pool. This is where you can dock the sea moth or prawn suit, which will automatically use your base's power to recharge these vehicles, which is great, and it also gives you somewhere to put them while you're in your base. You can also add a vehicle mod station to your moon pool, which means you can change the color and name of your vehicles, as well as creating mods for them. For example, the Seamoth can have a variety of mods such as hull reinforcement, energy efficiency, an electric field that you can set off if you get grabbed by a Reaper at any point, and you can even install the Seamoth with torpedoes, which I don't tend to use an awful lot because, again, I don't think you should be fighting any of the creatures in this game because I just don't think the game was made for that. But you can use the torpedoes if you really want. They're a great way of damaging enemies, then you can get away. I like the fact that the vehicles weren't just left on their own to sit there outside of your base. You actually have somewhere you can dock them, and they went that little bit further of adding in a progression system so you can actually upgrade the vehicles. I'll talk about the prawn suit upgrades later down the line, but for now, those are the Seamoth ones, and it's pretty cool. I'd also say it's absolutely essential to add a few rooms into your base completely dedicated to storage. Now, it's kind of annoying in terms of Subnautica's inventory management. Most minerals take up one slot, some even taking up more than that, which means you're going to need a lot of space to throw your materials in when you've got an excess. In my most recent playthrough, I made a 2-story storage room that would basically work as a place for all of my materials to go, and each of the lockers were named so I could put in specific materials into specific lockers, and it was all nicely sorted. Although with the problems of Subnautica's inventory management and how you don't have an awful lot of space, I still had overflow lockers where I would just basically throw random materials, because even though I had specific lockers for specific materials, there was still too much. Now, I understand that sort of balance between realism and being able to carry thousands of pounds worth of materials, but I just wish that the materials were stackable inside of the containers. Fair enough, when you're outside of the base and you're not putting them into storage, don't allow items to stack in your normal inventory. But I see no reason to not let items stack when you actually put them into storage, and I feel like this was massively overlooked by the developers. The fact that I have to have 2 stories worth of storage and still that isn't enough, there's got to be something a little bit wrong with the storage system. I haven't played Subnautica Below Zero, but this is something that I really hope that they're fixed in that game, because there was a lot of time where I was just rooting around inventories trying to find space to put stuff in. If you're new to the game and you're not prepared for this inventory management, it can really get on top of you. You can also actually grow plants in Subnautica as well, so I think it's very useful to create a room dedicated entirely to growing plants, because you can't always rely on fish as your main source of food. And to be honest, for the majority of both of my playthroughs, I had marble melons as my main source of food, which is a dryland plant that you can find on one of the 2 islands in Subnautica that we will be talking about later, but just know there are in fact 2 islands you can go to which are completely explorable. You can also pair these farms with a bioreactor, which is a really useful source of energy. I found that bulbo trees are absolutely great to use for fuel for these bioreactors, and that means you don't have to spend a lot of quartz, copper and titanium building loads and loads of solar panels for the outside of your base. Yeah, I'd say a farm is a very important part of Subnautica's base building, and it would feel weird if I didn't have a farm available at all times. And then another essential is just a room that has all of the basic things that your life pod had in it. So fabricators, mod stations, the radio, the medkit fabricator, all that standard stuff you can pretty much just throw in one room. I basically had all of this in one room, plus a water filtration device, which meant that I could just get clean water from doing nothing. All it did was take power from the base, and it creates clean water and salt deposits for you to go and store in your storage if you have an excess. Very useful. So it's good to have a main room where all the main stuff is. And then the rest of the base building is just trying to make your base look pretty. You can add posters, plant pots, wall hanging plants, chairs, tables, shelves, beds. There's so much stuff that you can put in your base, and it's really cool. It adds that nice bit of attention to detail. You can add your own personal flair to your base. I know I spent a long time trying to make my base look nice, and I think it turned out pretty well in the end. Overall, the base building in Subnautica is pretty fun, but it's just not the most remarkable system I've ever come across, and again, they're limited by the fact that you're always in water, so they sort of had to accommodate towards that. It's still cool though. I really like having a fully fledged base and wandering through the corridors and then building more on it and watching it grow. It's very cool, so I gotta commend them on that. But let's be honest, the whole point of actually creating a base in the first place is so that you can support further excursions into other biomes. So far, we've really only talked about the Aurora biome, the safe shallows, the kelp forest, and the grassy plateaus. But there's so much more out there in the world of 4546b to explore, and now that we have a fully fledged base, a Seamoth, and lots of tools to our disposal, we can start going to the different areas of the map and seeing exactly what this world has to offer. Now, something that surprised me on my first playthrough of Subnautica is that this game is completely handmade. There is no procedural generation whatsoever in this game, which is very uncommon for survival games. I feel like with the advent of Minecraft, a lot of survival games adopted that procedurally generated approach, whereas Subnautica is a set map. The only thing that can change is your life pod's location. It can spawn anywhere within the safe shallows region. The biomes in Subnautica are actually really cool and are host to a variety of different creatures and minerals. So obviously we know the safe shallows, grassy plateaus and kelp forests, but you also have the mountains, the blood kelp zone, underwater islands, the dunes, the sea treader's path, the sparse reef, the crag field, the grand reef, the bulb zone, the mushroom forests. There's so much to explore in this world, and that isn't even counting the two final zones of the game, the Lost River and the inactive lava zone. There's so much to explore, like it's crazy, and it really blew my mind as soon as I got into the game just how big this map was, or how big it feels due to the variety of biomes that are scattered around it. And as I said, the exploration never feels like you're being pushed in a certain way. You can go whichever way you want at any point. You're not locked off at all. There's even an area of the map known as the Dead Zone, which is basically the bounds of the map. If you go out of this, it's basically just a dark void that stretches out into infinity. And I'm going to be honest, you don't want to find out what's in that void. So there's lots of biomes to explore in Subnautica, but this exploration comes with more dangers. And this is where we're going to talk about the infamous Reaper Leviathans. There's quite a few of these on the map, and I must say, they're definitely the most terrifying part of Subnautica. The prospect of a Reaper Leviathan coming out of the darkness out of nowhere and grabbing your Seamoth or attacking you is always a thought that you keep in the back of your mind when you're traveling through areas that you know Reapers can come through. And as we saw before, I was blissfully unaware of where the Reapers actually spawn. Now after playing the game twice, I'm a lot more confident with where Reapers are and where they patrol, but on this first playthrough I had absolutely no idea. And I learned how terrifying Reapers are the hard way by traveling to the back of the Aurora and not realizing there was a Reaper there waiting for me. There's radiation detected. My rad suit on. So yeah, the closer we get to the Aurora, the more metal salvage there will be. That's what I remember anyway. We'll probably find some along the way. All we need is like one more. That's it. Like, I don't need much more metal, because I just want some titanium. That's literally it. I think it's just random. Really? Oh, what's this? What's that a bit for? Cyclops bridge fragment.
Welcome aboard.
Okay, right. Oh my fucking god. Okay. Oh my fucking god. Oh my. How do I get out of this? How do I fucking get out of this? Oh my god. Oh my god. We're getting out of here, boys. We're getting out of here, lads. We're getting the fuck out of here. Holy fuck. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. Oh my god, that was terrifying. Oh, we just got reapered up, lads. We just got reapered up. I'm surprised we're not fucking dead. Oh my god. Okay, that was fucking scary. Thanks for the follow. Jesus, man. Oh, at least it's morning now. Holy fuck, dude. That shit. Okay, I got too close to the Aurora then. I didn't know how fucking close I was. I should have been looking. Oh, I was out. I was literally out of the thing as well. I was out of the Seamoth. Like, I was there. It could have got me. I got in the Seamoth just at the right time then. Like, what the fuck? Oh my fucking god, man. First Reaper scare, boys. First Reaper scare. Look, there's the clip. There's the clip. So yeah, Reapers are pretty scary. But they're not the only hostile mob that terrified me during the course of this game. To be honest, most of the sea life gave me some form of jump scare throughout the course of this playthrough. And I'm just going to go ahead and throw up all the best clips right now of me getting scared by random shit that probably shouldn't scare me. Oh! Jesus fucking Christ, dude! I didn't know he was still following me, bro. What the fuck, man? Jesus Christ! Oh God! Oh, what's this? He's just chilling there. You're right, bro. And then we go. Bam, bam, bam. It's lead. Anything in here? Oh, laser cutter fragment. Oh my fucking god! That scared the fuck out of me!
Seek fluid intake.
How about you seek these nuts, bitch? I'm gonna die. Oh my fucking god! Holy shit! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh fucking hell! What the fuck are these guys doing? Ha! These guys! What the fuck? Oh! What the fuck? This one is sort of just stuck. Dude's just vibing. Just straight up vibing. Can I just drive into him? He's non-existent. Scan it. Ah! Oh god. What's that above me? Oh fucking god. It's fucking right there, dude. Oh my fucking god, dude. It's right there. Oh my four. Ooh. Chill, bro. Oh my fucking god, it's right there. Okay. What the fuck is... Engine offline.
Powering up.
Let's go.
Ahead standard.
Ahead standard. Right, let's go home with 24% on the thing. I hope nothing tries to kill me on the way back. Oh! What is that? Oh, it's a fucking Reaper. Quick. Oh my god, as if there's a fucking Reaper attacking me right now. Oh, fuck. Oh, it's fucking near me. Oh, wait. I have 0%. Oh, no. This is like worst case scenario right now. Oh, my God. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Oh, no. Oh, what? Okay, so we have damage in the back. Oh, shit. Where's the damage? This is so bad. This is actually so fucking bad. I didn't think the shield would take up that much power. Oh, God. What's the move here, boys? What's the move here? Do I fucking risk it and get in the prawn suit? Or do I just get out and book it back home using the sea glide? I feel like the prawn suit may be my best option. Oh, I can't believe it! I can't believe it! The SS O'Connor is fucking stranded. Wait, how much battery do my sea glide have? 35. This is so bad. Yeah, I should definitely bring some reserve power cells next time. This is bad. Oh, the 9 o'clock alarm. I'm gonna take these with me. I'm gonna have to unload the power cells, leave this here for now, and charge them back home. Can I access the cameras still, or are they... I'm guessing I can't. Oh, I actually can. Where'd that Reaper come from, man? I can hear it still. I can still hear it. Okay, I feel like we just have to fuck it, get in the prawn suit, and just go for it and just get home that way. Alright, let's save. We can actually listen to a message on the radio as well, which is quite nice. Okay, fuck, guys. Fuck. Alright, fuck. I'll do it, okay? We've saved. We got this. We got this. Oh, it's so annoying because all my
30 seconds.
All my stuff is home. Alright, fuck it, guys. I'll have to take the Seamoth back out to, like, fix it. Oh, look at us stranded there. I'll see you soon, SS O'Connor. I'll be back soon. Wow, what an exciting moment, though. Getting attacked by a Reaper and running out of power halfway through the attack. That's fucking sick, I'm not gonna lie. That was so cool. That was so fucking cool. I hope you guys enjoyed that little montage there. It was great going back and watching that. I didn't realise how much I screamed like a little bitch playing this game, but it's some funny shit, I'm not gonna lie. But by exploring the world of 4546B, we've realised that it's not as safe as we originally thought it was. And maybe our small sea moth isn't enough to protect us from the dangers that lurk within the depths. Which is why during this point of the game, it's a great idea to make the prawn suit. Not to mention that the sea moth only has a max crush depth of 900 meters, whereas the prawn suit has a max crush depth of 1700, so you kind of have to use the prawn suit in the late game anyway. The prawn suit is amazing, might I add, especially when you get some of the upgrades later down the line. You can go very, very far down, but mainly the grapple hook upgrade and the drill arm upgrade are fantastic. The drill arm allows you to mine huge deposits of minerals, which means you can get much higher quantities of minerals in one go, and the grapple arm allows you to obviously grapple through the water, but the physics work in a way where you can use the grapple hook to pretty much slingshot yourself through the water and move at speeds higher than that of a sea moth, which means you go really, really fast. And I don't think this was intentional from the developers, because the game can't quite handle it. If you go really, really fast and get a perfect slingshot, it's really intensive on the game, and there's massive frame drops. So do it at your own peril, basically. You might crash the game, but it's really fucking fun. Now, this problem with the prawn suit causing frame drops when you travel too quickly brings up a larger point about Subnautica and its awful optimization. Now, this game was never perfect, and it was never going to be perfect. There is no such thing as a perfect game, but throughout this game's early access and the years that players played it before it came out as an official game in 2018, it had these issues of pop-ins, frame rate issues, bad optimization, stuff not loading in properly until you're really close to it, that sort of stuff. And you would have expected that after all the feedback they got during early access, that the developers would have actually fixed these issues. They never did, and it seems like that's something that they really don't really care about at all. I even recently installed the PS5 upgrade. There was a free upgrade for PS5 for Subnautica users, and I installed it thinking it was going to fix a lot of these issues, but it didn't. Fair enough, it increases the frame rate to 60 FPS, which I'm a massive fan of. It's the main reason why I actually downloaded it in the first place, but I'm pretty sure that's all it does. It also adds a bunch of screen tearing to the game as well, so all of the gameplay in this entire video that isn't from my streams has a ridiculous amount of screen tearing at all times, because the developers just didn't bother fixing it. Not to mention the amount of times this game crashed on PS4 for me. PS5 version is actually a lot better and doesn't crash as much at all, but the PS4 version crashed way too often, and it would always crash a second time upon me loading it back up again, so I had to close out of the game entirely and go back in just to get back into my save. It was ridiculous. In fact, there was a moment during the late game of Subnautica where I hadn't saved for around 2 hours and the game crashed on me, so I had to do it all again. I don't remember the last time I fucking saved! What is this game? Oh my god, no! No, please tell me it auto-saves, dude. No. How long ago is that? That's 2.5 hours! That's an hour and a half. That's an hour and a fucking half, dude. Nah, I can't be asked to play anymore today. I think I'm just gonna fucking finish it another day. Fuck this fucking game, man. Oh no. So yeah, Subnautica on certain hardware is very prone to crashing, but all you can do to combat it is save as often as you can, and just don't forget to save when you get to important points. I got unlucky enough to have a crash after not saving for nearly 2 hours, and it really soured my experience of the ending of the game on that first initial playthrough. So if you haven't played Subnautica and you're gonna play through it, just remembers to save a lot. I basically used commands to get to where I was, but I shouldn't have had to cheat, missing out on certain trophies just because the game is terribly optimized and keeps crashing all the time, and this isn't something they're going to fix whatsoever. There's also a massive issue with pop-ins in Subnautica as well, which is a massive issue for a survival game where you'll need to be scavenging around looking for minerals. There was moments where I was searching for minerals, but I was too far from the ocean floor to actually see them despite them being there, which is, I don't know, it just seems crazy to me that a survival game doesn't allow you to see the minerals you're looking for until you're right up close to them, which means you have to spend a lot of time going down to the very seabed while you're looking for stuff, opposed to just hovering above it and scouting around. It makes the gathering process a whole lot longer. So yeah, the verdict is that Subnautica is a glitchy, unoptimized mess, but I still love the game. There's no other game that offers the experience that Subnautica does, and so all of these issues I can look over. There's many of you watching this video that might not be able to overlook these issues because they are quite prevalent, but to me, Subnautica offers an experience that's so unique that I can look over these terrible glitches, and the complete lack of optimization. Again, I haven't played Below Zero yet, but I really hope they put a little bit more effort into the optimization of the game, because if Below Zero has these issues too, then I think it's a little bit harder to excuse compared to this game that was this studio's breakout game. Oh, wow, okay, that felt like a massive tangent to go on just talking about pop-ins and performance issues with Subnautica, so let's get back to the actual game itself. So, in terms of the progression of the game, we just created the prawn suit. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the radio, because I've mentioned it previously in this video, and it is actually an integral part to Subnautica's story. So the radio serves as a way to guide the player to different areas of the map. You get these distress beacons on the radio, and then you get a signal that you can go to, which is marked on your PDA in the beacons section, and then you pick up a PDA log that has some more information about the crew and whatnot on the Aurora. You are the only survivor, so you don't find any survivors because everyone died. There's some nice interesting lore there. There's also one of the life pods that you go to where there's like a Markiplier doll in it for some reason, and that made me laugh a lot when I first saw it. I don't know why. It's just Markiplier for no reason. It's brilliant. These radio signals can also lead you to the many habitats that are scattered around 4546b. There was a group of survivors that also crashed onto the planet many years ago, and their story can be found out via the radio. If you follow the beacons and head to each of the abandoned places, you can find more about these characters, but this isn't part of the main story whatsoever. You completely overlook this and nothing changes whatsoever. This is merely a side story to flesh the world out more, and it's basically a side quest if that's the way you want to see it. But these notes and voice logs are actually really interesting and offer you some more insight into other survivors that crash landed on 4546b and had to fight against this very harsh environment. One character in particular being Margaret, who actually single-handedly kills a Reaper Leviathan with nothing but her bare hands, which is kind of crazy, so I definitely recommend doing these side missions and going out there and exploring and finding out what this world has to offer in terms of its lore. Yeah, it's really interesting stuff. But the actual main story of Subnautica revolves around the precursor alien race that actually inhabited this planet thousands of years ago. One day on the radio you get a signal from the Sunbeam, which is a ship from Altera that was able to find your distress beacon, and they intend to come to planet 4546b to look for survivors. They send you the coordinates to a piece of dry land which they intend to park on so they can pick up the remaining survivors of the Aurora, but waiting for you on the island is something very important: an alien facility stretching out of the water and onto the island. Finding this for the first time was actually crazy because I had no idea that there was going to be any form of underlying story or mystery in the game. I thought it was mostly focused around the exploration and the idea of deep sea diving. But actually having this alien storyline was really interesting. Upon entering this structure, there's lots of things for the player to scan and read about, which is again nice world building, but most importantly you come across this podium, and on the podium is a massive button. Upon interacting with this button, your arm gets stuck in some form of gravitational pull, and a needle juts out from the mechanism and stabs itself into your arm. This is when you find out that you are in fact infected with an alien virus. This virus is known as Kara. We'll talk about this a little bit more later on because again, it's very important. If you wait on the island for a while, you can see the sunbeam coming down through the atmosphere, which doesn't bode well for those aboard. The reason why this alien facility is so important is because it acts as a gun, which primes itself whenever anyone tries to enter or leave the atmosphere. This is why the Aurora was shot down, because there's a huge alien cannon waiting there to shoot anything down that tries to get onto the planet. And so you're basically forced to watch the sunbeam be shot out of the air and fall down into the ocean below. You were so close to being saved and yet so far. To be able to deactivate this gun, you need to cure the Kara virus, and that's easier said than done. And it was much too late for the crew of the Sunbeam, as they suffered the same fate as the crew of the Aurora. There's actually 3 more alien facilities you can find around the map that are linked directly to the story. One within the Lost River, called the Disease Research Facility, one within the inactive lava zone, called the Thermal Plant, and lastly the primary research facility that's located in the lava lakes. Although we'll get into that a little bit later on, because at this point in the game, you haven't actually made it to the Lost River or the active lava zone. The goal of the player now is to basically find each of these alien facilities to learn more about the aliens that once inhabited this planet, and the complications they ran into when trying to cure the Kara virus. So the odds are definitely stacked against you. If an advanced alien civilization that was far more advanced than anything humanity was ever able to accomplish couldn't cure this virus, then how is one lone human going to expect to do it? Well, we'll find out. And I'd say the main thing that signifies the ending of the mid-game of Subnautica is when you create the Cyclops and head down to the deepest parts of the map. Before we actually go down to the Lost River and some of the deepest parts of 4546B, I want to talk a little bit about the customization available in the Cyclops. This is something I had no idea about in my first playthrough, but you can actually use the Habitat Builder tool to add stuff to your Cyclops. I ended up adding a bunch of plants, a little farm in case I needed it in emergencies, and a few battery charger stations, as well as the radio, medkit fabricators, and most importantly, a massive storage section at the bottom. A storage section is really important for the Cyclops, as you're going to be using it as a mobile base, so you're going to want to be able to store a lot of different resources on it, because down in the Lost River and the lava zones, there's a lot of valuable stuff that you're going to want to be mining, and it's a long way back to get to your base, so it's nice to have a lot of storage on your Cyclops. I even added a few little details in there, such as a few pictures, some signs leading to different areas, and some wall plants, just to make it look nice. I even added a little bed as well, so if I wanted to, I could sleep. And with that out of the way, it's time for us to go to the Lost River. Luckily, I had an entrance to the Lost River that was actually quite close to my base. All I had to do was go around to the Grand Reef and then come round a corner and you're pretty much there at the Lost River. It was very nice. And this biome is one of the most infamous in the entire game because it's host to a lot of hostile mobs, and it also has the head of a great gargantuan leviathan in there. This is the fossil of an ancient beast that used to live on 4546B but eventually died out due to drastic changes in the environment. But we're not here to talk about the lore and the backstory of the Lost River. It's a very cool place, but you guys can go and explore it for yourself. What we're here mainly for is the Disease Research Facility. Of course, there's your normal data logs and data terminals to read stuff from, but most importantly, what we learn about the alien race in the Disease Research Facility is that they were actively trying to find a cure for the Kara virus, and they tried many different solutions, but none of them worked. The Disease Research Facility shows an extensive knowledge of all the fauna and flora in the world of 4546B, and the aliens had to have an extensive knowledge of this world to be able to try and combat this virus. We even find out the origin of the warpers, which you may have realized all over 4546B. These aren't actually native creatures to the planet. These were invented by the precursor race to form as guardians so that people couldn't leave the planet if they were infected. The reason why the Disease Research Facility is sunk to the bottom of the ocean is because it was attacked by a sea dragon leviathan, which means that it was almost completely destroyed. We'll be talking a little bit more about the sea dragons later, as we will actually come across some eventually. But for now, it seems like there was no hope for the alien species at actually getting rid of the Kara virus. They did all this research, created these facilities, but still it wasn't even enough. They eventually just started creating warpers to relentlessly hunt down those that were infected with the virus. They actually intentionally infected a lot of 4546B's creatures to see how they would react to the Kara virus, to see if any of them were immune to it. And the one specimen that did was moved deeper into the Earth to the primary containment facility, which we'll be talking about much later on. Just note that the aliens were actually successful in finding a creature that happened to be immune to the Kara virus. And that's basically it for the story side of the Lost River. There's actually not an awful lot to do here in the grand scheme of things. It's a really nice place to explore, and it has a ton of resources for you to gather, which makes it a very, very valuable place to be. But other than that, there's not really much in the Lost River. The game does become a lot more streamlined during this late section of the game, and the end game does have a few problems that I'm going to go over a little bit later on when I've talked about everything. And so with the Lost River fully explored, it's time to head down to the inactive lava zone, where we'll find the next alien facility. The inactive lava zone is one of the deepest points of Subnautica, and it also has some new resources for us to find, one of the main ones being kyanite. This is a blue crystal that can be mined and can be used to create many of the endgame blueprints, so it's definitely worth grabbing a bunch of kyanite just for the journey home. I actually really like the design of the inactive lava zone. It's just this ashy, dark, and there's absolutely no flora here at all. It's just fish that can live and survive that deep in the intense heat. And to be honest, this low visibility makes it quite hard to find the next research facility, which can be found by traveling through a cave, following the cave system down, and then coming out into a more open cavern. This is where you will find the thermal plant. To be honest, the role of this alien facility is nowhere near important to the story as the other three are, although this one does have a blueprint that I'd say is integral to finishing the game, as you need it to build your escape from 4546B. Within the thermal plant lies the blue tablet, which is required to open the door to the primary containment facility, which is obviously important to finishing the game and getting off of 4546B, but also inside of the thermal plant is the blueprints for the ion battery and the ion power cell, which are basically just improved versions of the normal battery and the normal power cells that you already get in the game. And I gotta say, it's almost too late in the game at this point to even really worry about these. I did put a couple of ion power cells in my prawn suit as I wanted it to last as long as possible, but really it's not needed to have these whatsoever in terms of the end game. You only need them to get off the planet. I'd say it's a waste of time going making ion batteries and power cells for all of your stuff, because one, it takes ages to get the resources for it because you need ion cubes, which can only be found in alien facilities, and also the batteries and power cells that you have normally, they do the job just fine. You don't really need this extra boost, and I don't really know why they chose to put these blueprints here. If they added them in somewhere during the mid-game section, it would have made them so much more useful in the long run. But yeah, that's pretty much all you get from the thermal plant. It's not amazing, and it is the smallest of all the 4 alien facilities, but it is integral to the story nonetheless, considering there's 2 items that allow you to progress in the game's story. Now, speaking of the inactive lava zone, we do come across a sea dragon leviathan in this area, which at first I was pretty terrified of when I first found them, but they're actually not that threatening at all, and they also look kind of goofy, and they're so big that they end up just glitching through shit all the time, so they really aren't that scary whatsoever. In fact, I killed a sea dragon leviathan because I wanted to see if I could do it, and it was really easy. All I had to do was grapple onto it with the prawn suit and then basically continually drill into it until it died. And this brings up the point of, should we kill the leviathans in Subnautica? Yes, it's possible. You can kill reapers, ghost leviathans, sea dragons, whatever. You can kill whatever you want, but the methods of doing it are so mundane and take so long that it almost feels like the game is almost begrudgingly allowing you to kill these enemies even though you're not necessarily meant to. There's 2 main methods of killing these creatures. One is just going ahead and grabbing the stasis rifle, freezing them in place, and then using your knife to deplete their health. This takes a long time. I think it took me around 10 minutes to kill a reaper leviathan this way. Or you could just grapple onto it with the prawn suit and then drill into it. As the prawn suit drifts closer to the leviathan, the more it swims around. And both of these methods take an incredible amount of time, but it's something that I found myself thinking is almost completely pointless. I mean, even after you kill them, they will respawn after a certain amount of in-game time, and most of the time you can just get around these creatures anyway. There's no point in spending 10 minutes of real life time sitting there just hitting the same enemy until it dies. There's literally no point. But also it doesn't really fit the game whatsoever. I feel like you shouldn't have been able to kill these creatures. You're just one lone human trying to climb his way up the tech tree. I don't think we should be able to contend with these huge creatures in their natural habitat. We're just here to merely observe and find our way off the planet, so actually being able to kill these creatures doesn't really sit right with me, and it doesn't seem like something you should be able to do. It almost seems like an afterthought, adding in the ability to kill them. I don't know, it just doesn't really feel right. And if they were to allow us to kill these creatures, they should have made more of a combat system in the game, if this is something they wanted to do originally, because, not gonna lie, sitting there slashing away at a huge sea monster while it's just been impaired by the stasis rifle isn't a very thrilling experience, and doesn't make for a very thrilling fight. It's almost like the developers were like, well, we didn't want you to kill these creatures, but a lot of people said they wanted to, so we'll let you do it, but we'll make it really, really, really boring, so you don't actually even want to do it in the first place. And to be honest, after I killed the Sea Dragon Leviathan, I didn't really feel like I'd accomplished anything whatsoever. It just felt like I'd killed an important part of 4546B's ecosystem, and that I was getting involved with something that I really shouldn't be. Because let's be honest, if someone landed on an alien planet and started killing all the life forms there, I'm sure people would kick up a bit of a fuss. It just seems like something that the character would have no interest in doing whatsoever, which is why I try and tend to stay away from killing them, unless I'm really, really bored and just want to fly around killing shit. I don't know why I want to do that, to be honest. In fact, the only time you're ever rewarded in this game for killing any of the fauna is when you use the heat blade to kill fish, which cooks them straight away. That's the only time you're ever rewarded with anything, for killing anything. Which is what leads me to believe that killing stuff in Subnautica was an afterthought that was added in after the initial concept of the game. Right, so after that, it's time to head to the very, very deepest part of 4546B, which is the active lava zone, also known as the lava lakes. This area looks sick for one, and it has a roaming sea dragon leviathan, so even if I did kill the one in the inactive lava zone, there's still one left, so I don't feel too bad. Across the lava lake and past the very last sea dragon leviathan is where we can find the primary containment facility. This is where we can use our blue tablet to enter and see what waits for us inside. Much like the other alien facilities, there's a lot of things to scan in the primary containment facility, including a particularly interesting item, which is a blade from Earth, which means the aliens that built these facilities had actually once been to Earth thousands of years ago. So it's safe to say these aliens have been all over the universe, until they met their end due to the Kara virus. In the center of this main room is an ion cube fabricator that is basically an infinite source of ion cubes, so if you do want to go ahead and create all ion batteries and ion power cells for all your stuff, then this is the place to farm the ion cubes to do it. This deposit never ever runs out of ion cubes, ever. But most importantly, the primary containment facility houses the one specimen in the entirety of 4546B that displayed an immunity to the Kara virus. An aquarium can be found inside the primary research center, and inside this aquarium waiting for us is the creature that the aliens found, known only as the Sea Emperor Leviathan. Now, this is actually a character that speaks to you throughout the course of the game. It can telepathically speak to the player character, and finally we're able to meet her. She reveals to us that she was kept in this facility by the aliens who were trying to force her to give them the secrets of how to cure the Kara virus, but in their aggressiveness she refused. After all, they took her and locked her up, and took her children as well, as you can find 5 Sea Emperor eggs in the aquarium too. They've been set up near the incubation machine and are in a state of natural stasis, because the environment within the aquarium is perfect for an adult Sea Emperor Leviathan, but it isn't perfect to hatch the children. There's a certain ingredient of enzymes that need to be concocted to release these children into the world, that only the Sea Emperor herself knows, and she's willing to tell you what they are if you promise to help her children. It's not explained very well, but basically the Sea Emperor Leviathans release an enzyme called Enzyme 42, which is basically a complete cure to the Kara virus. I know, it's kind of convenient, but bear with me. With the adult herself being weak, she can no longer create this enzyme effectively, which means only the children will be able to cure 4546B of the Kara virus. And so this is where the ending quest of the game becomes a glorified fetch quest. which is great. There are a total of 5 phase gates in the primary containment facility, and by going to each of them, you come out into a different area of 4546B. Each of these different areas has a piece of the enzyme that you need to take from some of the local flora, and then come back and combine them in the incubator. This bit takes a long time, and to be honest, it would have taken longer if they didn't have these phase gates here. It's almost like the developers knew that people didn't want to go on some glorified wild goose chase just to finish the game at this point, and they'd rather just get straight story. In fact, I was quite lucky because I'd been growing a bunch of the underwater plants, and so I already had most of them directly sitting outside of my base. And to be honest, doing this for the first time isn't the most thrilling thing ever. Once you collect all of the samples, you return to the Sea Emperor Leviathan, place the enzymes into the incubator, and voila! The babies hatch from their eggs, finally, after thousands of years of being in stasis. And with that, the Sea Emperor thanks you, and she begins to die. But her work has been done because her children swim through the phase gate in the aquarium and out to the surface of 4546B. If you follow them out, you'll see them releasing enzyme 42 into the water, and if you interact with one of the orbs, you cure yourself of the coronavirus entirely. And there you have it, you're completely cured, and it really didn't take that much effort whatsoever. I really don't know how the aliens didn't work that out, that all they had to do was help the Sea Emperor Leviathan, and then she would just help you in return. Instead, they were trying to force her children to hatch, which she didn't like, so she just refused to tell them what the enzymes actually were. I'm not gonna lie, this last section of the game, it's pretty fun on a first time playthrough when you're finding all this stuff out for the first time, but it's so unremarkable on a second playthrough. It's really boring, and it's all so convenient as well. Like I didn't mention before, but the coronavirus was found by the aliens on another planet. It didn't originate on 4546B, and so it's so convenient that one of the planets that they happen to go and investigate is the one that has the cure for the coronavirus. I don't know, it's all massively convenient. It doesn't really matter that much to me because stories are going to be convenient, otherwise there's going to be no resolution. Like the whole point of a story is that against all odds the characters still come out on top. But also, like, why didn't the Sea Emperor try and communicate with the aliens? Can she only communicate with us like that? Or did she try with the aliens and they just didn't listen to her and then ended up going extinct? Like, I don't really know what happened there, because surely she could have just done what she did with us and gone, no, don't take my kids, I'll just tell you what the enzyme is and then we can all be happy and you guys can get cured and then we can all be on our way. Like, it doesn't really make much sense if you actually look into it, but as far as survival games go, Subnautica's story is actually really intriguing, and as I said, on a first time playthrough, it's actually really mysterious what's going on and finding out about the aliens and their struggle against the Carabacterium. And there you go, you're entirely cured of the Carabacterium, and that means that we can go ahead and deactivate the gun on the island in the first alien facility that we found, which is a nice feeling to be able to go and finally deactivate it after all of this time being infected with the Carabacterium. Oh, and we're going to have to go back to the Aurora one last time, because the captain's quarters is actually now accessible. At this point in the game, you will have gotten a radio broadcast that actually gives you the code to the captain's quarters, and upon going inside, you can synthesize the blueprints for the Neptune rocket, which is your ticket off of this planet. And this is where the end game feels pretty disappointing for the most part. Now, they could have made this section really interesting and had you go to different parts of the map, go a little bit deeper, and find ways of building the rocket and making it safe for launch, but instead all you do is go and grab the same pieces of titanium and make the same wiring kits and do the exact same stuff you've been doing the entire game to build the rocket. I just feel like they could have been a lot more creative with this section. For example, maybe there would be a massive deposit of titanium somewhere on the map that requires some form of quarry to drill. You can't just do it with the prawn suit, and so you need to set up a huge quarry to actually drill this titanium out so that you have enough material to actually build the rocket. Or they could have utilized the seed shredder leviathans that are actually never ever used in the entire game. As they walk around, they drop dung, and they could have used this as a sort of biofuel for the rocket. They really could have changed up the gathering resources and put it on a huge scale, so that to be able to build this rocket, you needed to fully exploit 4546B for all of its resources. But instead, I just found myself wandering around collecting titanium, grabbing copper, a bit of gold here and there, and then taking the Cyclops shield out of my Cyclops and just sticking it into the rocket. It's just a really, really mundane and boring section at the end of the game for what was an amazing experience. It just feels like a really anticlimactic last act. Although, to be honest, I do quite like the whole sentiment of falling back into routine one last time and making your last plasteel ingot, making your last wiring kit and all that stuff, and then finally escaping. It's almost like a victory lap before you finish. I just wish it was a little bit more interesting, because my god, is it kind of boring being right at the end of the game and just doing the same stuff that you have been doing for the past 20 hours or so. You build it in 4 parts, and each time it gets more expensive to create, but once you're done, it looks absolutely glorious. And the game actually lets you launch the rocket yourself, which I think is really cool. You pull all the levers and select all the switches before going off. Finally, you sit in your command chair, shoot off into the stars. I actually really love this bit of escaping the planet. It feels like the perfect reward for all of the hard work you've put in, and it just feels like you're going home. And so ends the game of Subnautica. There you go. Yeah. Look at it on the side, Neptune. What's there, boys? Is there anything else to build after that bit at the top? Can I name it? It's built.
Team 1 rocket online.
Oh yeah, boy. Yeah. Did you release the cuttlefish? I'm gonna do it now, actually. Say goodbye to the cuttlefish. I wish I could say goodbye to the Markiplier fucking doll. Okay, so cuttlefish. I'm gonna miss this base, dude. It's so nice. Like, this is home, man. It's home. All right, guys. I'm gonna set you free into the world. You know, I know. We make good friends. Hey, play with this one. Oh, see you later. And then this one, I'll play with this one as well. Hey, see you later, bro. You can actually say goodbye to the oh, whoa! You actually can! Oh my god. Farewell, gamer. Oh, little cuttlefish! I'll say goodbye to the other one too. Double goodbye. Farewell, gamers. See you later. Oh, little cuttlefish. But look, it's what's best for them. If we took them back to Earth, you know, we wouldn't know if they'd be able to survive over there. Okay, here we go, guys. Here we fucking go. It's all been leading to this. Off this fucking planet. Get me off this planet. Get me off this planet. Ah! Why? Why are you shutting the door? No, I don't want to exit the rocket, dude. Don't make me do that. Whoa! Why is it exiting rocket twice? Okay, that was weird. Okay, here we go, lads. What is this? What is that? Hydraulic systems. I don't know what that is. Oh my god. Holy fuck.
Seek fluid intake immediately.
So, rocket not ready. Ah! I see. So I have to prepare all this stuff first. This is sick. It lets you flip up all the stuff.
Computer systems active.
This is so cool! I'm gonna die of thirst if I'm not careful. Yeah, just put the still suit on.
Equipped and capturing body moisture to chemically neutralize.
This is so cool.
Before re-ingested, please press the activation button
Wait.
in the next 3 seconds.
Wait, what?
You have chosen not
Oh,
to
time
activate
capsule.
chemical taste neutralization.
Uh,
Thank you.
I'll put my sea glide in there. Image. What should we have? A picture of the base? Or a picture of... I don't even know. The aurora, like that? There you go. That's sick, actually. I want that. Message. Cheers for the ride, gamers. There you go. Cheers for the ride, gamers. That's cool as fuck. Time capsule. Activate life support system. This is so cool. What?
Life support systems online.
Cheers for the ride, Pepe Sad Jam. Auxiliary power unit on.
Auxiliary power unit online.
Communications array on.
Communications systems array active.
Hydraulic systems on. Oh, this is so
Pressurizing
cool.
hydraulics.
This is so cool. Honestly, dude.
All systems are
Honestly,
go
dude.
for
This is
liftoff.
some of the coolest shit ever. I'm not even gonna lie. Oh, take one last look. One last look at the Aurora, boys. See you later, old girl. Alright, let's go. Holy fuck. Oh, yeah. Go
Ready to
among the
launch
stars.
command, Captain.
Let's do it. Let's do it. See you later, 4546B.
9, 8, 7,
This is so
6,
sick.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's home time, boys. Let's go.
Time capsule jettisoned.
Time capsule's been done. So whoever finds that gets my sea glide, which is great. Oh, this is cool. This is cool as fuck. Into space.
Caution. Approaching orbital debris.
This
field.
is so cool. Oh no. Oh no.
Orbital debris.
It worked.
field clear.
Yeah.
T-turn maneuver.
Look at that. 4546B. Damn. That's so cool.
Confirm destination coordinates. Nearest interstellar phase.
Look
gate.
at that, dude. Oh.
Engaging ion booster.
It's time to
3,
go home.
2, 1.
Oh, yes. This is so cool. Take me home, back to Earth.
What is a wave without the ocean?
Oh, she can still
A
talk to me.
beginning without an end. They are different, but they go together. Now you go among the stars, and I fall among the sand. We are different, but we go together.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Sea Empress. And there you have it, guys. Oh, thank you guys, everyone, for joining me for watching me play through Subnautica for the first time. That is one of the best, most unique games I've ever played in my entire life, man. That's such a satisfying ending. Like, just conquering that ocean space legitimately, you know, with some help from the chat as well, was just... There's nothing like it, I don't think, actually, in terms of exploration games and, like, sort of survival games. There's nothing like that out there. That was so good. Like, I know we had that hiccup with the save and everything like that. We managed to overcome it. Damn. Overall, I think Subnautica is a fantastic game. It offers an experience that I don't think any other game out there does, and I'm very excited to play the sequel, Subnautica Below Zero, very, very soon, which I will be streaming over on my channel, twitch.tv/LongEaredFox. I cannot recommend this game enough to anyone. It's just so unique and so fun to get immersed in this world. Even for someone who's terrified of the open ocean, this game was an absolute gem. And what made it even better was experiencing it with you guys on stream and finding out the mysteries of 4546B and you guys getting to laugh at me when I get shit scared by everything that moves in this game. And I want to thank you guys, especially if you've made it to this point in the video. I wasn't expecting this to be a big project. I was actually hoping to make this video more like half an hour to 45 minutes long and adding in a bunch of stream clips and talking about the game a little bit. But I realized as I was working on it how much I actually loved this game, and I just really wanted it to be a big video so I could talk about everything that I wanted to. So if you've made it this far in, an hour and a half, then thank you so much for watching, because I've put a lot of hard work into this and I do think it's one of my best videos to date. If you want more long form content like this, please let me know in the comments and drop a like on the video. I have more videos like this. I made a hour review of Spider-Man Miles Morales, going over all of the characters and the story themes and everything like that. And I also made a nearly 2-hour long video about the tragic world of Demon's Souls. So if you guys are interested in more long form content and you just want to sit down and watch a really long video, be sure to go ahead and check out those, because I think you'll enjoy them if you enjoyed this. And of course, follow me on Twitter to keep up with more videos. When I'm making long projects like this, I tend to post about them as I'm editing them, so you guys can actually get an idea of what the editing process is like and how I'm feeling about the video whilst editing it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all. That's it from me. And until next time, take care.